I grew up in a cult, actually, a religious community that was extremely tight-knit and was hostile to outsiders. We were convinced we were the only ones going to heaven. So my earliest memories of what I aspired to be were actually formed by the cult. When I was about 6 or 7 years old, I can envision seeing the cult leader conducting worship and imagining myself as his right-hand man, doing something like that. And it's taken years, of course, since to discern that that was perhaps my first call to ministry, seeing religious leadership and a community gathered around what was ultimate reality for me at that point. It's shifted now dramatically, of course, but that's my earliest vision. One experience where I had of deeply connected to my vocation and to the church's life here in St. Paul Park was several members of the church had for years been volunteering in the classroom twice a week at the local elementary school. As they grew older, they were less and less able to do that, and they had to step back and decided they couldn't continue volunteering in the school anymore. I so appreciated what they were doing and felt inspired by their example that I decided I would volunteer one day a week for just an hour in the elementary school. And so I started volunteering with Mrs. Behringer's 3rd grade class. And it was a truly wonderful sense of showing these kids, non-verbally, just by my presence, that the church cares about their lives. Whether or not they ever set foot in our doors, the church cares about their lives, their families, their schooling. And the most gratifying part about it is that I'm not the only one from church who does that anymore. Since I started, we had several other church members that decided they too would join in and read to a 4th grade class or a 3rd grade class. Again, putting our bodies and our hearts in the community where we can live out Christian vocation. This congregation has had, since its founding, an interest in supporting kids and youth. I discerned in conversation over several months with leaders here that we might be able to offer some support and intervention for kids who might need another place of safety, of sanctuary, of nurture. And so we discerned a year ago that we wanted to be a place that would offer this. And we didn't know what it was, but in conversation with the local principals and teachers and our members, we discerned that we could provide an after-school program for 90 minutes for kids from local schools who would be walking by the church anyway at that time. We offer it now on Thursday afternoons. Kids come here after school, they receive a snack, they play games or do crafts together. It's a secular program in that we're not trying to teach faith convictions, but it emanates out of our core values of nurture and care and service to the community. I absolutely love it. Local church, it's so messy and it can be so draining or distracting, but there is something deeply holy in it. And of course God would choose to have us continue in vulnerable human communities. God chose a body to walk around the world in. And what is a body if not plagued by illnesses and strains and growth and surprises? And all those things are true in faith community as well. I can't imagine a calling that was more exciting than being a local church pastor.